Hello and welcome to Dominique's Books. Today's video are all the books I read in February. I was able to read 5 books. There are 4 right here because the 5th one was on my Kindle. So finishing off After the Forest by Kell. This happens 20 years after Hansel and Gretel have escaped from the witch in the gingerbread house. They are in debt because Hansel has a gambling problem, and both their father and their mother and their stepmother are long dead, or at least somebody might be. So Greta has stolen the witch's grimoire, which is also got a delectable recipe for gingerbread, which has been keeping them running afloat for a while until the villagers suspect her of witchcraft. So I really liked that Kell Woods mixed in Snow White and Rose Red into the mix with Hansel and Gretel. You've got shape-shifting wolves, a shape-shifting bear, some dark magic, and I really enjoyed it. I liked both Matthias and Greta, and I gave this book 4 stars. Then on to Blackberry Pie Murder by Joanne Fluke. Life is never really quite quiet for Hannah. After all, her mother's wedding is literally only a month away. And guess who Dolores put in charge of the planning? Yet just when Hannah believes her biggest challenge will be whether to use buttercream or fondant for the wedding cake, she accidentally hits a stranger with her cookie truck while driving down a winding country road in a raging thunderstorm. Hannah is wrecked with guilt, and things get even worse when she's arrested for murder. But the autopsy soon reveals that the mystery man, his shirt covered in stains from blackberry pie, would have died even if Hannah hadn't hit him. Now to clear her name, Hannah will have to follow a trail of pie crumbs to track down the identity of the deceased. Find a baker who knows more about murder than how to roll out the perfect pie crust. So, this one was a little different than the other books, as it is not Hannah's dessert. And she accidentally hits him with her truck, so we're left with a cliffhanger at the end, so we have to read the second book to find out what happens to Hannah, as she has to go to trial. Then 16 Scandals by Sophie Jordan. So Primrose Ainsworth, it's her 16th birthday at the beginning of the book, and her parents aren't going to celebrate it. She's not going to get to celebrate her birthday. And usually at this time, girls at 16 get to join society, go to parties, and meet eligible men, and so on and so forth. But her mother has decided that she will get to wait another year, maybe more, before she gets to join society, because her sister before her still hasn't been married off. So in her very upset state, her and her friend decide to go to Vauxville Hall Gardens, very big place. They go to a pub, they see scandalous dancing, bear baiting, but at the beginning they get separated, and as Prim is trying to find her friend, she meets this gentleman who goes by Jacob, who will not tell her who he really is, and they go on a bit of an adventure in Vauxhall Gardens. I really enjoyed this book. I liked the banter and all the stuff they were doing. And I gave this book 4 stars. It was a nice period piece to read. Then Bellegarde by Jamie Lilac. A story of love, hate, and a Parisian fake date. So, Bellegarde has bet with his half-brother, Julien, that he would turn Evie Clermont into the next Bellegarde bloom. And the Bellegarde bloom is like Miss America or prom queen or something like that. But Evie Clermont does not want to be the Bellegarde bloom. She wants to sew, but she probably will have to run her family's bakery. And it just goes from, it's just a cute Parisian story. It kind of gave me She's All That kind of vibes, with the guy wanting to turn the plain girl into the next prom queen, or in this case, the Bellegarde bloom. I enjoyed this book for the most part. As I was listening to it on Libby, I did not like the narrator who did Beau's part. He'd go back and forth between English and a very poor French accent. So other than that, I enjoyed this story. I liked the ending, and I gave it 4 stars. Then I read the Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. So Hadley is 4 minutes late for her plane to London for her father's second marriage. She gets on another flight, but she will be late. And while she is waiting for her next flight, she meets Oliver, who is also going to London for something. They talk, get along really well, can relate to some things going on in their lives. And when they both get on the plane, somehow they get seated together and they just keep talking, kind of love. And then once they get off the flight, they were going to meet up again in the airport, but somehow they get split up. But then they end up finding each other again. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. Why I decided to read it was there's a movie on Netflix by the title Love at First Sight. And then I found out it was a book, so I decided to read the book, and I really liked the book. And I guess if you either liked the book or the movie, you might like the other. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.